Hello Facebook, hello YouTube, what is up everybody? This is Ruben and I'm back with another Ruben Report. And today I'm possibly doing the most ridiculous thing that you can imagine with my bike today. And today I'm actually going to be riding all the way down to LA to attend and visit my family, to attend my father's funeral. I decided to take the bike really out of financial circumstances. Driving down there, I've already been down twice with my other vehicles to handle miscellaneous things, and that was in gas expenses alone already around $500, and things are getting pricey. I mean, we also got to pay for the funeral as well, so just costs continue to add up. Me taking the bike is a purely financial decision. I do not trust in this thing one bit, but in light of the recent tests that I've done, or the experiment that I've done, it has at least shown itself to be durable for the past 300 miles, with the valves not moving at all. So I hope that it will last 350 miles of nonstop riding for today, driving from my place of residence all the way down to Los Angeles, California. So the longest distance that I've ever traveled with this bike thus far was actually about 200, almost 200 miles. Then this was while I was doing the engine break-in process, riding at much slower speeds, you know, anywhere between 40 to 40, around 40 miles an hour. Again, during the engine break-in process, and you can watch my engine break-in series to see how many miles I went each day that I did go. So thus far, the bike has done about 200 miles almost non-stop in one day. So we're going to see if we can go even further than that, and hopefully it actually holds up. I prepared myself. I have everything set up here, all my clothes and this big old hiking backpack. Got my suit and laptop and other things for work, suit for the funeral and things of that nature. And then I have snacks and water and other stuff in there, and then some tools in here. So I'm trying to prepare myself as best as possible, with trying to figure out whatever type of scenario may arise. I didn't bring every single tool that I have, but hopefully we got enough to handle whatever may pop up. I obviously have taken every tool needed to perform a valve adjustment for sure. So yeah, we're going to get on rolling here, and I'm going to be taking you guys along with me with the GoPro cam. Not going to be recording everything, obviously, but take you guys along. One upgrade that I did do in the recent days is I added this little Amazon throttle lock. I saw that they were working decently well on certain Amazon video or certain YouTube videos. It just works by friction, and it's very simple. You just push it forward, and then your throttle stays in place by, just friction on the rubber here. Very simple. It's like $10. We'll see how it works. Hopefully that will allow my throttle hand to rest. I plan to cruise around between 7,000 and 8,000 RPM. So anywhere between, I don't know, what is that? 55 to 65 miles an hour. That's my plan. I'm not trying to push this thing too hard. So yeah, I guess we're going to be doing a typical day ride out of the book of 5,000 miles at 8,000 RPM. But, you know, I'm going to be anywhere between 7,000 8,000 RPM. So we'll see how the bike actually holds up. All right, so this is our starting mileage. 6,234 miles. I'm going to be keeping track of my mileage and speed and all of that with the GPS app, as I always do. We're also going to be, as we stop, taking a record of how much MPG we're getting. You know, just the typical stuff that I always do with any of these rides, and just to see how the bike is performing. I anticipate the round trip, or how much I would spend in gas for the round trip, would be anywhere between maybe about $70 to $80. Okay, this is driving all the way down, you know, riding around while I'm down there doing miscellaneous things, and riding all the way back. So that's all inclusive, back and forth, you know, over 700 miles of riding for about 70 to 80 bucks, hopefully. Now, the reason why I'm taking the bike, I mean, that's a pretty substantial number, a lot lower than taking my truck, which would have been around $300 or even more, and then my minivan, which would have been over $200 in gas. So I'm doing the best I can to save pennies and pinch pennies. All right, I'm gonna take you guys along with me, and yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. Alright, we have completed our first 100 miles. I had a couple miles on the tripometer already, mainly because I was running around getting groceries a couple other days, but we got about 100 miles, and then we're going to look at the odometer. Okay, now the odometer on the the GPS app, there's a bit of a discrepancy because I forgot to actually start the trip a little bit. So I started the trip a little bit later on the GPS app, but you guys can see that in just a moment. I was generally riding as usual, like I was saying, between 7,000 and 8,000 RPM. For a moment there, I was riding a little bit higher than 8,000 RPM as well to pass and get past folks, but we're keeping up a good pace. So yeah, 100 miles down. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up this gas tank, and then you guys can see how many gallons we use and what type of MPG we got. Alright, so after filling the gas tank up and calculating our mileage along with how many gallons we used, we got 52.2 MPG, which is not bad for our first 100 miles. So I was hoping to get above 50, and that's exactly what we got. I'm going to go ahead and reset this. So we're back at 0, and now I'm going to also reset my trip for my GPS app this time. I'm gonna make sure I do it right. All right, I'll see y'all later.
Blame Omari Beats.
Alright, what is up everybody? We have made it to another stop here at one of my favorite rest stops in Lebec. We are about, I would say, 240, I think about 240, 250 miles in. So we only have another 80 miles or so to go. And I'm gonna show you guys the odometer. Right after I'm done with this stop, I'm gonna get gas. It's only like another extra mile or so away, but we've done almost 140 miles on the dot so far until this stop. So yeah, another 80 or so miles to go. I'm gonna be posted up over there to rest. I'm going to give myself about 30 minutes or so, or an hour. Just take my time. I've been at it since around 11 o'clock this morning, so it's around 3:30 right now. So yeah, we've been riding for about 4 hours now. I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll catch you guys. Well, before we do that, the main challenge is yet to come. The main challenge is continuing to go uphill. We started to go through the grapevine to get here, if you guys saw that footage, and I definitely had to downshift into fifth gear and just take my time going up the hill. And you know, the RX3, it's been doing a decent job. I'm starting to feel a little bit of power loss, just a little bit, but hopefully we'll be able to continue to cruise around 65 miles an hour or so, at least, to be able to go the rest of the way. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get to rest, and hopefully we'll see you guys once I stop to fill up again. Alright, this is gas stop number 2, and we just got finished filling up. Okay, this is how many gallons we used, and then we'll see how many miles we actually traveled. $140.7. So I'm going to show them actual mileage as well. 6,473. And then we'll see a screenshot of the GPS app in a moment. Alright, so our MPG for this section has been 48.3 miles per gallon. I think that's a little bit more accurate because with the first section, I did a little bit of mileage, you know, just going back and forth from the grocery store. You know, we started the whole trip with about, I think, like 16 miles on the tripometer from, you know, filling up prior to this whole trip. And also there were some sections where I was riding through traffic, lane splitting and things like that, so I really wasn't at a constant 70 miles an hour or 65 miles an hour. It was pretty mixed. But this second section, I was at a much more constant pace, much more higher speed. You guys will also see with the GPS app my top speed as well, and with just some of the footage. 48 miles a gallon, a little bit more expected, but we will see what this last leg is going to end up. I'm probably not going to stop. I probably don't need to stop. It's only 80 miles. So I'm going to just go ahead and try to crank it out, and I'll see you guys when we get there. All right. Alright, sorry guys, it took me a while to get settled in. I came back out. Actually got here about an hour ago, but we did finally make it. Here is the mileage. So, whoops, 81.7 since we last filled up, and 6,554.9 miles on the odometer. Now, once I was on the actual freeway, the 405 freeway, that is, if you've ever been in Southern California traffic, you know it's pretty dense and heavy, but thank God, the only thing that you can thank God about when it comes to owning a motorcycle in California is the lane splitting laws. And so I was able to lane split through it all. My GPS or my Google Maps told me I was going to be an hour and 35 minutes away for only 35 miles, but I turned that into 40 minutes while lane splitting on the freeway. So that's a real blessing to be able to kind of cut through cars. You just got to be careful. But yeah, we got here in one piece. She made it. She impressed me. She's a trooper. Yeah. Wow. 330 miles altogether, riding over a span of a little over 6 hours. I'll let you guys see the actual GPS results after this. And yeah, part one of the journey. Sometime this week we'll be able to, I don't really think it's necessary. The bike has not been exhibiting any type of issues or any type of signs of valves tightening, which is great. But maybe sometime this week we can just double check. You know, I brought all my tools. I can see where the valve clearance is at, because with it, me setting it to higher than spec, maybe they did shrink just a tiny bit. But it's okay, because you know, maybe they're like perfectly in spec now. Who knows? I would like to just see where it's at, or maybe my valve recession issue has ceased. Maybe they've receded so much that they just can't recede any further. I don't know, but whatever the issue may be, point being, we made it here. We made it here in one piece. And that's something to celebrate about. So, RX3, you get a thumbs up for tonight. All right. So, we'll see you guys later on. Stay safe out there. Peace.